Okay, we are live. That was not supposed to happen. I was not supposed to be live yet, but that's okay. Okay, I see we've got a few people here from YouTube already. Rhea is here, Guerma is here, Evelyn is here, Sapito is here, Jane is here, and Rodwa is here. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining. So, today's live lesson is more about how to learn English. And this is because today I posted on Facebook and I said something like, if you can understand 50% or more than 50% of what I say, stop calling yourself a beginner. And so that's what I want to talk about today. Um, what is a beginner? Why is it bad to call yourself a beginner? And how can you continue improving your English? So that's what we are going to talk about today. Patrizia, thank you for joining. Hello. Malgarzada Sadowska, thank you for joining. Hello, hello. Usmain Demba, hello, hello. Senegal, hello. Suat from Thailand, hello and welcome. Irena, hello, good evening. Guillermo Lopez asked, how are you, Teacher Mike? I'm good, but I'm a little bit hungry. I need to eat dinner after this live lesson. Ava, thank you for joining. And yes, so right now it is about 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the time that I usually do my live lessons each Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Usually I do them on Tuesday. We had some problems yesterday, had to do it today instead. So again, my live lessons are almost always 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays, which is this time right now. Well, 3 minutes ago. Okay, and so again, we are talking about why you are probably not a beginner, why it's bad to call yourself a beginner when you are not a beginner, and what you can do to continue improving your English. But yeah, oh, and Renata, thank you for joining. Thank you for being a member on YouTube. Thank you very much. So yeah, first things first, what is a beginner? So a beginner is someone who is beginning to learn the language. They are learning words like dog, cat, man, woman, food, house, table, chair. They're learning how to ask questions like, how are you? Where is the bathroom? How old are you? And how to answer those questions. For example, my name is Mike. I'm 35 years old. These are the types of things that beginners are learning how to say. So most of you are not beginners. Most of you are probably elementary, pre-intermediate, or intermediate. Some of you might be advanced, but for 99% of you, you're probably not advanced, because I think my videos would be really boring for someone who does have very advanced English. So that's the first thing. Most of you are not beginners. And again, it's, in my opinion, bad to say that you are a beginner. And I don't mean that you are doing something bad and you are a bad person. No, not at all. What I mean is that bad things happen when you say that you are a beginner. And there are probably a lot of things that happen. But when I was thinking about this today, there were three main things that I thought of. The first one is that when you call yourself a beginner, you make yourself feel bad, especially if you are someone who has been learning English for 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years. If you call yourself a beginner, that's like saying, I have been studying for years and my knowledge is still very little. My skills are still very low. And that's just going to make you feel bad and less confident and less motivated. And it is important to understand, like maybe it is really low. Then yeah, you need to worry about that. You need to focus on that. But for most of you, again, if you can understand me right now, your English is pretty good. Um, I can't tell you about your speaking because we are not speaking. I'm not listening to you. But I know that if you can understand everything that I'm saying right now, your speaking skills, although you might not feel good about them, you're not a beginner. You can probably tell me how old you are. You can probably tell me what your name is. You can probably say things like, I was born in Argentina, but I moved to the United States when I was 17. If you can say things like that, you are not a beginner. Um, if you can say things like, I have a dog who likes to sleep on the floor, you are not a beginner. If you can say things like, I went to a party yesterday and it was a lot of fun. I spoke with some of my friends. You are not a beginner. You have a pretty good level of English, but you are comparing yourself to people who have very high levels of English. That's the problem. Um, so that's the first thing. When you are not really a beginner and you call yourself a beginner, you're just making yourself feel bad when you should feel proud of yourself for how much you have really learned, because you have learned a lot more than you think that you have learned. And you really should be proud of yourself for that. Um, and I don't like to do this, motivate you to learn English. I don't care about motivating you. I just want to be honest with you. So that's why I'm saying this. Um, and again, there's two more reasons why it's bad to call yourself a beginner, in my opinion. But I want to check the comments first and see if anyone has asked any questions about this. Um, Okay, I see Felipe asked, what comes after a beginner? So it depends how you're thinking about it, but really it's beginner, which is like very, very, very basic words, some short sentences. That is a true beginner. Then after beginner, you have elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, advanced, basically. That's basically how it works. So most of you are probably, um, I would say that most of you are probably pre-intermediate to maybe intermediate. And there are also probably a lot of you who are elementary. Um, if you sometimes have difficulty understanding my videos, you're probably elementary. Um, if you have occasional difficulty understanding my videos, you're probably pre-intermediate. And if you can understand almost everything that I say, you're probably closer to intermediate. But this is just from your listening, and your level also does depend on your speaking, which I can't tell you because I haven't spoken with you. Hepa, thank you very much. Hepa says, your videos are not boring. Give yourself some credit. Seriously, even advanced learners can learn some nuances, get reminded of something they've forgotten, and so on. Thank you. Yeah. And the reason that I say my videos are boring is because I try to be more like a teacher and less like an entertainer, and also make it easy for real beginners to start listening. So my videos are designed so that if you are a beginner, you can start listening and think, wow, I don't understand all of this, but this is interesting. I can understand a little bit and I can listen to him and understand things. And that's really why part of why I started making videos was I saw lots of teachers teaching on social media, and they were they were speaking Thai, speaking Spanish, speaking Arabic when people are trying to learn English. And I wanted to show beginners you don't need a teacher who speaks your first language. You just need a teacher who has experience speaking to beginners. Um, so my videos are designed to be challenging, difficult for beginners, but also to show beginners that they can start with just English. And I have students here on YouTube, on Facebook, who really were beginners when they started with me, but they listened every day for years and years, and now they are much better at listening and probably speaking also if they actually do the things that I tell them to do. And I get messages and emails from all of you. So I know that there are people who started as beginners and now have a much higher level. Um, so my videos are designed to get beginners to start listening and understand that they can listen to 100% English. Sometimes it will be difficult, but it's a really good thing to do. However, a teacher teaching a foreign language always teaches a little bit above the level of the person who they are teaching. So in the beginning, I designed my videos for beginners, again, to be difficult, to be challenging, but because they're a little bit higher than the beginner level, they are also appropriate for elementary and intermediate learners, even advanced learners, because the things that I talk about, sometimes they are advanced, but I explain them with lots of details. I explain them slowly. I try to make everything as clear as possible. So my videos are appropriate for beginners, elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, and advanced. They're appropriate for everybody. But if you are an intermediate or advanced learner, you need to understand that my videos are not really going to help you improve your listening. I can teach you little things like this is how this is different from this. This is how this is different from this. Here are some phrasal verbs that maybe you didn't know before. So that is how intermediate and advanced learners can benefit from my videos. Whereas beginners and intermediate learners and pre-intermediate learners, they are going to benefit from that, but they're also going to start feeling more confident and improving their listening. Um, That was a lot of information, and I didn't really need to talk about that. So let's go to the next thing. So again, sorry about that. First thing was saying that you are a beginner when you're not a beginner makes you feel bad when you should feel proud. Second thing, when you tell yourself that you are a beginner and you're not a beginner, you're going to focus on the wrong things. You're going to do the wrong things. So you might buy a book that says English for beginners, and you're not a beginner. So that book is too easy and you're not challenging yourself enough. The same thing. You might go on YouTube and search beginner listening practice and listen to something that's too easy. So you might feel like it's appropriate for you because you understand everything. Think, okay, I am a beginner. I understand everything. But no, if it's designed for beginners, beginners should not understand everything. If it's designed for beginners, there should be some things that beginners do not understand because that is how you challenge yourself. That is how you grow. That is how you learn new things. So if you say I want to watch video listening practice for beginners and you're not a beginner, you might feel like, "Oh, that was cool. I understood everything." But that also means that you probably didn't learn anything. You just listened to stuff that you already knew. So that's problem number 2 with saying you are a beginner. You're going to focus on the things that beginners should focus on and not the things that you should focus on. Um, the third problem with saying that you are a beginner when you're not a beginner is that when real beginners hear you say that, and when real beginners see you write that on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel, it's probably going to make them feel really bad because they might see that you wrote 5 sentences. You wrote something like, "Dear teacher, my name is Marcus and I am from Algeria. I have been living in the United States for 3 years and I'm really interested in improving my English." That's pretty good writing. And if you say that and then you say, "But I am still a beginner," if a beginner sees that, they might feel like, "Wow, if that's a beginner, then what am I? Because that's 10 times better than I am." So yeah, that's just the third thing that I see as being a problem. Um, so number 1, you make yourself feel bad. Number 2, you focus on the wrong things. Number 3, you make people who are beginners also feel bad. Gonna check the comments again for a minute before we continue. Okay, so okay. So Rodwell says IDK, which means I don't know. I don't know if it's wrong, but I prefer joining English conversation sessions for beginners, even though I'm intermediate, because it helps me to gain confidence while I'm speaking. So, when learning a language, there aren't many things where we can say, this is right, this is wrong. It's not that black and white. It's not always clear. Yes, this is good. No, this is bad. It depends. Everybody is different everybody has a different personality, everyone has a different culture, everyone has a different learning style, everyone has a different education, everyone has different opportunities. So there's never a right or wrong way to do things. Um, However, I will say that this can be a good idea, but if you always do that, you're not going to challenge yourself enough. It's really better to do things that are difficult, um, because I don't I don't know if you really are gaining confidence, or maybe you're not gaining confidence, but you're just staying comfortable. And staying comfortable is how you stop yourself from improving. So this is difficult to answer because it depends what your goals are. I would say that this is okay to do sometimes, but you also should join lessons for intermediate learners. Do that also, because that is how you are going to grow. When you start doing things that are difficult and you challenge yourself, that is how you really become confident. When you see, wow, I did that and it was difficult and I made some mistakes and I was uncomfortable, but I didn't die. That's how you learn. That's how you get better at anything. So, if you like doing this and this helps you to stay motivated and keep speaking every day, do this. This is good. But I also want you to join lessons that are challenging. Okay. So another thing that I see is a lot of people are kind of saying, how do I know my level? Or if I understand you 100%, what is my level? So I can't tell you your level just from that information. But here is what you can do. So the CEFR levels. Um, CEFR is basically a system that is designed to tell you what your level is in any language. So it doesn't test you based on your English grammar. It tests you based on what you can do and what you can't do, what you are confident doing and what you are not confident doing. So if you want to know what your level is, one of the best things to do is just Google. Search for this on Google, or use ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, please tell me about the CEFR levels. Here, I'll give you something that you can type into ChatGPT. Um, so this is how I recommend. Well, so the best way I think to check your level is to do a placement test with a real teacher. And if there is a language school in your city or anywhere near you, if you go to a language school and you say, I'm interested in taking classes, they will usually give you a free placement test where a teacher asks you questions. And if they have good teachers, that teacher will be able to tell you your level and it will probably be free. However, if you don't want to do that, or if there isn't a language school near you, I want you to go to ChatGPT or some other AI that you use, and you enter this. You type this. So if you want to know your level, take a screenshot right now of this. I want to know my English level. Can you please explain the CEFR levels using my native language, which is your native language? Or you can write this whole thing in your native language, and ChatGPT will explain it all to you in your native language. It will tell you the difference between each of the levels. So that is my advice. If you want to know your level, learn the CEFR levels, then just check which one describes you. And that's how you can figure out your level. Okay. So the other thing is, I understand why you might feel like you are a beginner. You feel like you are a beginner because your English is not as good as you want it to be. That makes sense. I understand that. But again, if you understand everything I'm saying right now, or you understand most of what I'm saying right now, you are not a beginner. For most of you, the problem is just that you don't do the things that you need to do. You don't practice speaking. You don't make flashcards. You don't spend 15 to 60 minutes listening to native speakers every day. And if you don't do those things, yeah, your English is not really going to improve very much. So you can know a lot of English words. You can know a lot of English sentences. But unless you practice, you're not going to be confident. You're not going to feel good about your English. So you just need to practice more. I think for 90% of you, the main problem is just that you don't practice. You might watch my videos once or twice a day or once or twice a week. You might read a book sometimes. You might watch a little bit of TV, but that's not enough to really improve your English. To really improve your English, to get it to a intermediate advanced level, you need to do a lot. You need to listen every day. You need to practice speaking every day or almost every day. You don't get good at English by accident. The people who get good at English really spend a lot of time focusing on it. But actually, that's not 100% true, because in my experience, there are really two types of people who get good at English quickly. Um, anyone, anyone can get good at English over 6, 10, 20 years. Anyone can do that. But if you want to get good at English in 6 months, or 1 year, or 2 years, you're going to need to do a lot more. So if right now let's say you are elementary, you can understand most of what I say, but you really are not confident speaking at all, and you want to get to an intermediate level in 1 or 2 years, um, there are two types of people who are going to do that. The first type of person is, and this isn't actually a type of person, this is just a situation. So the first type of person who is going to get good at English quickly is a person who has opportunities. And by opportunities, I really mean two things. One, you can attend language classes. Maybe they're private lessons, maybe they're group lessons. But if you can attend language lessons, And I'm not talking about elementary school, middle school, high school. No, I'm talking about language lessons with a real language instructor, not a high school teacher. And there are good language teachers in high school, but when you take a language in middle school, high school, you don't really practice speaking. You don't really do the things that you need to genuinely improve your English. When you're a child, a teenager in school, they just want you to pass tests, but you don't get good at speaking from that. Um, so the first type of person who gets good at English quickly is someone who can attend language lessons where you get time to speak. You're speaking for 30 to 120 minutes every day, 3 to 7 days a week with a teacher. And that teacher's teaching you things. You're speaking a lot in the lesson. This is the first type of person who is going to improve quickly, people who take classes. The second type of person who improves no, no, this is still the same category. So again, category 1, people with opportunities. But the first type of opportunity is you can take language lessons. The second type of opportunity is you have English in your daily life because you live in a country where a lot of people speak English, or because you need to speak English every day at work. So really people who use English with friends and family, people who use English at work. These people are also going to improve very quickly, and it's mostly because the language is with them every day and they need to use it every day. Um, so that's the first type of people who improve quickly. People who have opportunities. Maybe the opportunities are school, like a language school. Maybe the opportunities are friends, family, and work. But basically, these people are using English in real life or in a classroom every day. Those people can improve very quickly. But before we go to the second type of people, I want to make it very clear that there are also lots of people who use English every day at work, but don't improve quickly. There are also lots of people who live in the United States for 10, 20 years, but do not improve. Because you're only going to improve if you actually use the language and you actually try to learn. Just being with the language every day is good and it is helpful, and you will learn one or two things every day, but it's really not going to happen quickly unless you do something. You take notes. You When you hear something you don't know, you look it up in a dictionary. You're not going to learn by just being in a country. You have to actually do things also. Being in the country is not magic. Um, but anyway, the second type of person is just people who are serious about learning. So when I say people who are serious about learning, I mean people who actually do the things that I tell you to do. I know that there are lots of you who watch my videos and you say, this is great advice, but you never do the things that I tell you to do. And that's okay, because you don't need to be serious about learning. You only need to be serious about learning if you are serious about learning and you want to improve quickly. If you want to improve quickly, you need to do the things that I tell you to do. Not everything that I tell you to do, but I mean you should be following my advice. When I tell you make flashcards, make flashcards. I'm not telling you that for fun. I'm telling you that because it's important. When I tell you, when you learn a new word, look up example sentences with it. Write some of your own sentences with it. Read those sentences out loud to practice speaking. Lots of you hear me say these things, but you never do them. So, what I want to say here is that this second type of person who improves quickly is the person who tries very hard to learn. They do things that are difficult. They do things that are boring. They do things that make them uncomfortable because they have goals, and they will do everything that they can to reach those goals. And for many of you, that's not you. And that's okay, because if you're not super serious about learning, enjoy your life and do the things that you want to do. I just want you to understand that you're not going to improve quickly if you're not serious about it. You can improve over time, gradually, a little bit every day, a little bit every day. And for many of you, again, that's fine. That's good. That's great. That's perfect. I'm happy for you. But if you really want to start seeing improvement, you need to practice more. You need to review things more. You don't just watch a video one time and say, that was fun. Okay, I'm done. If you really want to improve, you watch the video one time, you say, okay, that was fun. Now I'm going to watch it again and I'm going to take notes. And when I hear something that sounds interesting, I'm going to repeat it. And all of these other things that I tell you to do in my videos, that is how you improve quickly. And that is why I tell you to do those things. Um, Also, for anyone who doesn't know this, on my YouTube channel, I have a whole playlist of videos about how to improve your English. So, how to improve your speaking, how to improve your listening, how to improve your pronunciation, how to improve your vocabulary, how to improve your speaking without a partner, how to make English a part of your daily routine, how to practice English every day. I have videos about all of these things. And I'm going to get the link to that playlist right now so that I can share it with you in case you haven't seen those videos. Give me just one moment, please. Okay, playlists. One moment, please. I see all of the other playlists. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this video has this playlist. Give me one moment. I'm trying to find how to share the link. It's more difficult to share a playlist link than it is to share a video link, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Ah, there. Okay. Okay. So now in the comments, I'm going to share the link to this video playlist that I have on YouTube. This is where I have all of those videos for you for free. So I just sent the link. You can open it right now, or you can copy it so that you can watch the videos after this one. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this video telling you specific, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, because I already have all of those things in this video playlist, and I will continue adding more videos to that playlist. But yeah, that's the main thing. If you want to improve fast, you need to be someone who has lots of opportunities to use the language, or you need to be someone who is serious about learning the language. If that's not you, you're probably not going to improve very quickly. But you can improve. It's just not going to be as fast as the people who are serious, or as fast as the people who do have more opportunities. That's how the world works with everything. If you don't know, I see Reem Mahmood says, "What is a flashcard?" So go to that YouTube playlist. I have one or two videos in which I teach you how and why to use flashcards. Checking some of the comments. I can understand you, but I lived in Dallas. Dallas is in Texas, which is in the United States. And I've lived, and a lot of people from different countries. Okay. A lot of people from different parts of the world live in Dallas. And sometimes, many times, I can't understand them. What do I need to do? So that's normal. That's 100% normal. Every day, I meet people who have different accents because they came here from different countries. Sometimes it's easy to understand them. Sometimes it's difficult to understand them. Um, you just need to tell them, could you please repeat that? Could you say that again, please? Could you please speak slower? Um, this is not a problem about you. This is just what happens when people have different accents. Hi, Teacher Mike. I want to take classes, but they are expensive. What should I do? Do you have any idea? How can I get the cheap one, but it's still good? Um, so the video that I posted on Sunday was about a platform called italki. And italki is a platform, a website where you can find teachers. And it's one of the cheapest platforms, I think, on the internet. Some of the teachers start their lessons at just $5 an hour. So right now, I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm saying this because I honestly believe that italki is one of the best options, and that is why I did do the video for them on Sunday. Um, so I really recommend checking out italki. If you're not sure about it, please watch the video that I posted on Sunday. I talked about what it is and why I recommend it. I also, during the video, I interviewed a teacher from italki, so you can see what it looks like to really be in the platform with the teacher in the lessons. Um, so it depends because for some people in some countries, good lessons will always be too expensive. Um, so I can't say like this is super cheap and everybody can afford it because there's nothing that everyone can afford. But italki is pretty cheap. You can find lessons for just 5 to 10 to $25 per hour, which again for some of you is expensive, but that is really the cheapest that you will find lessons for. You're not going to find lessons with a good teacher for less than $5. The other thing is that YouTube videos like this one are free. So um, you will improve faster, usually, if you have a teacher, but you don't always need a teacher. Um, if you have enough money to take lessons with a teacher, I always recommend doing that because that is the best way to get feedback. That is the best way to get someone who knows what they are doing to give you advice and to guide you. Um, but you don't need a teacher for listening practice. You don't need a teacher for speaking practice. You only need a teacher for feedback and to guide you. But if you just want to learn, there's lots of free videos on YouTube. If you just want to practice speaking, ask one of your friends to practice speaking with you. Tell your friend, hey, I'm learning English, and I know that you are also interested in learning English. Let's practice speaking with each other. And a lot of people get confused about this. They think that the reason you need a teacher is to copy their accent and to practice listening and to practice speaking. That's not why you need a teacher, because you can do all of those things without a teacher. The reason you want a teacher is because they can do what I'm doing right now. They can tell you, hey, look, you need to focus on this, you need to focus on this thing that you said was not correct, this is how you fix it. But again, if you just want to practice speaking and listening, you don't need a teacher. There are tons of things that you can do for free. We need to work to get money and pay bills, not much time to learn English. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, my second language is Thai, but I haven't studied Thai for the last 5 or 6 years. I haven't studied Thai at all. I wish I could improve my Thai a lot, but I have to focus on this YouTube channel and this Facebook page to make money. So right now, this is what I am doing. I'm not working on my second language. And if you are in the same situation, yeah, I understand 100%. Most adults do not have 2 or 3 hours per day to improve their English. That is, yeah, that's true. I don't think I said anything different. Yeah. So yeah, many of you, probably most of you, are in this situation. And that's why I'm telling you, if you are not someone who has lots of time and lots of opportunities, and you're not someone who is very serious about learning and wants to spend 1 or 2 hours per day, focus on the things that are important, like your family and your bills and making money. Definitely do that. So I want you to understand that the people who are improving quickly are often the people who do not have to focus on other things. They have more time to focus on English. Looking for 1 or 2 more questions, and then we are going to end this video, but I do want to answer 1 or 2 more questions. Anna Sikorska. So that's not really what I'm talking about with flashcards. I really recommend going to my YouTube channel and watching my video, which is about flashcards. Why do beginners improve so quickly, but it is more difficult to do when you are on a higher level? Um, because when you start with nothing, it's easier to feel good when you do have something. It's the same as anything. Um, in the beginning, there are lots of things that you can learn quickly, but then as you become more advanced, you have to, in order to learn more, you have to learn things that are a little bit more difficult. So that learning does become more difficult the more advanced you get because you're learning things that are more difficult, basically. Elmer Nakamura, thank you for commenting from Japan. Said my first comment here. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a good question. Um, so this person is asking to learn English with my YouTube channel. Should you start from my first video? No, you shouldn't. So my YouTube channel is not designed like a course. My YouTube channel is designed so that if there's something that you want to know about, you can search for it and find that video. But there's no order to the videos. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's just this video is about this video is about this video is about this. So yeah, you watch them randomly. You should watch them randomly. Um, but really, what you should do is search. Go to my channel, use the search bar, the search function, and type in the thing that you want to know, and you can find the video about that topic. And that's another thing that I want you all to understand. If you're serious about improving, you should be thinking about what you want to learn. So if you think, oh, I know that I don't have much vocabulary about this topic, search for videos about that topic. If you know that some grammar is difficult for you, search for videos about that grammar. So don't if you mostly use my YouTube channel, nowadays I only post one video per week. So don't wait for me to post a new video. Instead, go to my channel and look at the videos that I already have and see, does this one look like it will help me? Does this one look like it's a topic that I don't know about yet? And then watch those ones. But yeah, good question. And I'm going to post the link one more time to the playlist with all of the how to learn English videos. I'm posting it in the comments again right now. So if you want to watch all of my videos about how to learn English, how to improve your speaking, how to improve your listening, how to improve your pronunciation, that is the link that I just shared in the comments right now. Also, just a reminder, I do have 2 ebooks also. Although all of my videos are free, I do now have 2 ebooks that you can buy. The first ebook is about 8 ways to practice speaking without a partner. And I want to make it clear that even if you already have a partner, and even if you already use English in your daily life, speaking by yourself is still one of the best things that you can do because it allows you to focus on your weaknesses. It allows you to repeat things again and again and again and again. And in a real conversation with a partner, you can't do that because you'll sound like a crazy person. Um, so that's what my first ebook is about. It's about 8 ways to practice speaking without a partner. My second ebook is about how to learn to think in English. And I want to be clear, it doesn't guarantee that you will think in English after reading the book. It's not possible for anyone to guarantee that because to learn to think in English, you need to do the work. But this ebook does tell you the work that you need to do. So if you read this ebook and you do the things that I talk about in it every day for several weeks, several months, you will be able to start thinking in English. And I'm going to share the link to get both of these ebooks in the comment below. So I just shared the link. It says teachermikeenglish.teachable.com. Right now, each of the ebooks is $12.99, $12.99. I do have sales sometimes. However, the New Year's sale just ended. I've talked about that a lot. Hopefully, some of you saw that and bought it while it was on sale. But yeah, right now they're $12.99, or you can get both of them for $24.99, and they are available at teachermikeenglish.teachable.com, which is the link in the comments that I just shared down below. So if you want to learn how to practice speaking English by yourself, which I highly recommend doing, and you want to learn how to start thinking in English, which I also highly recommend doing, the link to those ebooks is in the comments below. But yeah, it's 6 o'clock. I have been talking for 1 hour and I'm a little bit tired and I'm also very hungry. So I'm going to get going, which is another way of saying we are done here. I'm going to leave. Thank you all very much for joining. Thank you for your comments, and I hope you found this video useful. If you did find it useful, feel free to share it with your friends or do whatever you want. Yeah, that is all for today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting.